love to stay in touch. I always say, anybody that comes from South Asian, I like to address it as my brothers and sisters. That's how closely I feel with all the community. Now, if you guys don't mind, I'm a healthcare professional by background. It's always nice to see a fellow physical therapist and a healthcare professional. Like my fellow colleague females have spoken, if somebody would have asked me to speak about healthcare executive or healthcare administration, Sujit would have to come and stand here to say, can you stop? We're running out of time. I could go on and on and on. That's how passionate I am about healthcare. But that's not what I'm here for. First, I want to thank the organizers for doing this, because only through events such as this, you can actually bring in folks that have contributed, almost co-founded, if not really founded, somebody that worked for this organization from 60s, leadership from 70s, 80s, and past presidents. And it's so important for the community. And I'll tell you why, because Virginia Asian Advisory Board is all about community engagement. So bringing in communities such as this to share ideas will be a good starting point for young generation like that. There is a young woman just sitting right there. She may be hearing part of it or may not be hearing part of it, but I always say that just their presence gives me inspiration and hope that in the future they'll continue the tradition. I'm sorry, I forgot the year. I think, is it 1969?
67.
Yes. So if the organization can sustain this long, it's because of organizers such as this that took the time, realizing that it doesn't matter whether it is 7 people that started it or if it is 70 people that are attending or 700 people, let us still gather and do a community engagement so people, as generations go by, we continue to keep our Nepali traditions, our Bharat tradition, our South Asian traditions, and so on and so forth. So congratulations to all the organizers and for coming together. You guys all had to give a round of applause for yourself for being here. You could have been anywhere else on a Saturday afternoon, but you chose to come together as a community, and you should appreciate yourself. Second thing, before I again go to Virginia Asian Advisory Board, I do want to wish all the women in this room and everyone else International Women's Day. So I do want to engage young women right there. Guys, do you know what the theme of International Women's Day is this year? Oh my. The international, yes, go ahead. Kind of keep going, but it's almost the same. Yes, invest in women, invest in future. So it's the same thing. That's precisely why I gave what I gave the spell, because you got to invest in women like this in order to indirectly invest in our future. So men, if you have your wives home and you're sitting here, phenomenal, you're hearing me, but please go and let your women know that we got to invest in them in order to invest in future, because I always say that if women are educated, then the entire humanity is educated. So I want to wish you all International Women's Day. Now coming to the Virginia Asian Advisory Board, the reason Sujit wanted me to come in and talk to you is Jack was my friend. He was there as a part of the board, and he did a tremendous work. So the board is actually not, it's not a privileged board. Any one of you that wants to get appointed can get appointed. You just need to go through board and commission. VAAB is Virginia Asian Advisory Board. It should consist of obviously Asian heritage like you and me for most of you. It comprises of certain number. You have to apply through governor's office, and governors review the resume and they kind of appoint based on people that believe in the value, but it has nothing to do with political spectrum. It is a very non-partisan, bipartisan. So as a board, what we do is we go around throughout Commonwealth. Like we were at Virginia Tech I think Jack, you were there, or you were attending via Zoom, if I remember it right. And we also went to Old Dominion University doing town hall, trying to understand what your issues are, what our community is. And I know this young lady, Make Us Visible, was there. And then we prepared an annual report because we advised the governor. So after taking the annual report, in fact, I'm meeting him on March 26th. So going around and telling him what our communities are going through. Unless we go and express to him, the policies won't change. Otherwise, the policies always are going to be focused on mainstream America, which is actually not a bad thing. But on the same token, how will our voices be resonated? Because we are 6%, that's a significant amount of population. In the bigger scheme of things, Jack just Jack Tiwari-ji just kind of educated me, saying that there are 30 million Nepalis. In a big context, 30 million people is a lot of people across the globe. So we got to show our presence wherever we are, so our younger generation continues to sustain in this mainstream America and become strong individual. So as we go on, we collect the data. Like a couple of the initiatives that we are working on is about education initiatives. So Asian American history is better represented in the textbooks, so our kids don't walk away knowing that Asian Americans did not contribute anything to this great country. America is such a great country. Asian Americans contributed to that great country. Right now, in the history, there is not much of Asian American history. We want to incorporate that, so I'm going to be proposing that to governor. So there are many things that I jotted down that when I speak to the governor, I'll be proposing that. So every annual year, we get a chance to go to him and propose to him. So again, I want to summarize by saying that I am thankful that I'm here. I'm thankful that I'm here with my brothers and mainly my sisters on International Women's Day. It means a lot to me. I was the president of Durga Temple. It is one of the temples in Fairfax. I was very attached to Nepali community there because 30% of our congregation then were Nepali community, especially during Karwa Chauth. I loved seeing the reds and so on and so forth. So continue to be engaged. Please continue to come together like this. No small effort. What is done by leadership such as Sujit ji will not go to waste. It will only inspire younger generation, like the young lady that's sitting out there. And we are all here for our children. Unless we do something like this, our children will not be able to sustain in this great world. God bless you all, and God bless America. Thank you again.